Hi everyone, welcome back to yet another LeadSquared webinar. For anyone who's new here, I am Karthika and I'm from LeadSquared's marketing team and I will be your host for the day. And at LeadSquared, we have plenty of webinars, roundtables, panel discussions, and fireside chats. This is just one of them, so do look out for our emails so that you don't miss out on any. And for today's session, let me just quickly introduce our speaker. We have Mr. Vishal Thakur, who is the Senior Associate of SMB Sales here at LeadSquared. With over 5 years of experience in sales, Vishal is here with us to talk about how you can drive sales performances through nudging or push notifications. Thank you so much for joining us today, Vishal. Really looking forward to learning from you. But I just wanted to hear from you as well. What are your expectations for the webinar today? What are you looking to,
Hey
put
Kartika, hi. Thank you so much for the introduction. Hi everyone, this is Vishal. I would say, in terms of my expectations, I'm just looking to share my experiences, how these nudges have been helpful for me personally, how different businesses have gotten in, I would say, some benefit out of these nudges, what are the different kinds of nudges, and very excited to share my experiences, how exactly things go, and I will be looking forward for the same.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Vishal. Really looking forward for that. And to the audience, before we start our actual webinar, I have a few pointers to give. But just before that, this is a virtual platform. So I know that I am joining from Bangalore, India. Vishal is joining from Mumbai, India. So just wanted to know where everyone in our audience is joining us from. So please do put it up on the chat tab, which you can see towards the right side corner of your screen. So, like I said, chat is where we network with each other. So, please put up your whatever you have to interact with us. Please do put it up there. Your LinkedIn profile, whatever you want to put it out. Definitely, that's the place to go. The next option will be the question tab. This is where you can put up your questions during the webinar. So, when Vishal is going through his presentation or sharing his experiences, if you have any questions that might come to your mind, please do put it up on the question tab. And the next option is the poll option. This is where I will be putting up a couple of polls. Please to respond to them as well. I see the responses coming in. There are people joining us from Mumbai, New Delhi, Bangalore, someone from Kenya. So, all right, all over the world then. Thank you so much for joining us today. I don't want to drag it much more longer. So, just because of that, and I will just hand the session over to Vishal. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Karthika, for such an awesome description. I would say hi, everyone. This is Vishal. So, just for setting up the right agenda over here, I want this session to be very interactive. So, if you have any questions in mind that you want to ask, that are coming up on top of your mind, feel free to drop those questions in the chat window. After every 2 or 3 slides, I'll take up those questions. I'll try to explain, give some use cases, give some examples, and we'll try to make it a more kind of an interactive session wherein we could actually drive some meaningful insights out of it. So, just to set up the context over here, first of all, I'll just drive the agenda. First is importance of progress reminders for users and managers. So, as a user or as a manager, what are the nudges, what are the reminders that should be given to you so that you could drive your business more efficiently? Then second agenda for the point is understanding different productivity parameters and requirements for your business. So as a business owner, you need to understand for which particular business type, what kind of a nudges work. What are the productivity parameters, and on which productivity parameters you need some push or some reminders so that you could do your work which you're already doing. If you could do that more efficiently. Third agenda that I would be driving today would be how to use these digital nudging and what's the difference between an offline nudging and the online nudging. So I'll discuss on this particular pointer. And last but not the least, how to get the most out of digital nudging. So that end-to-end perspective, this end-to-end agenda will cover in today's talk. I'll drop in the chat box for a few questions after 1 or 2 slides, and feel free to ask any questions if there are any. Now, when I talk about a nudge, so first of all, we need to understand what is a nudge. Nudge is basically a timely reminder that has been sent out to you. So just to give you an example, I would say, let's say if I'm sitting in office and my manager comes out to me and says, this was a particular deal that you were working on, can you call up this particular client again and try to engage with him? So that's a physical nudge wherein somebody is coming in person and giving me an offline reminder. This could be your manager telling, this could be your team leader telling, this could be your CEO telling a manager that this was a work that was required to be done. Have you done it or not? So that's a kind of whole and soul in terms of offline nudges. Now, when I talk about a digital or an online nudge, let's suppose you have a prospect, you called up a prospect today, and prospect said, call me back on Sunday at 4 p.m. I'll connect with you and I will try to drive this business. On Sunday, if there is no reminder, you'll, because human tendency, it's just the human tendency that they forget things, because there are so many things going on a day to day basis. There can be certain things wherein that thing skips out of the mind. But let's suppose I'm chilling on a Sunday and I get a reminder on my note, let's say on my application, or I get an email, or if I get a different kind of a nudge, uh, I could directly pick up my phone and call up that prospect. And let's suppose if that converts as a deal, that's a good thing for business, the good thing for that particular sales user, or whether that's a manager. So the agenda over here is to understand what are the different kinds of nudges and how exactly those nudges are helpful to us. So just to help you understand with the psychology of nudging, so in this particular context, I would say nudge is just a small push to remind people to do certain things which will lead them to completing their professional careers. So just like I discussed in the last slide, if you have to call up a prospect, and if you get that nudge at the right time, that's the very good thing. You'll get that nudge and you'll be able to work upon that particular prospect. And there could be different scenarios as well. So I would say, just to summarize it in a layman term, it would be nudging is basically reminding the people the information that they already know. So there is a prospect that I need to call and I need to get it done. But if you get a nudge, it comes on top of your mind. You'll connect with them, and then this is a very good thing. So if I talk about in generic, if you are in a building and there is, let's suppose, a sticker or a sign saying that turn off the lights after you leave, then that's not something that you do not know. But once you have a look at it, it will remind you to turn off that light so that the electricity could be saved. So it's just a simple concept wherein you get reminded of something that's important to be done, and it's basically helping you complete your KRS. That is it. So I'll just jump into the chat box for between. And so I believe we do not have much of the questions right now. So we'll drop in the chat box later on, and I will see to the questions. Now, when I talk about different user personas and the type of nudges that they require. So if I talk about as a sales user, so let's say as a sales user, I need to follow up on my prospects. That's a first example, a very foremost example of what kind of a reminder I should be getting. There is a particular task to be done. One is following up with your customer. There is, let's suppose I had to raise a particular request for a particular customer to enable a particular feature. If that task reminder comes out to me, that's a nudge, and that will help me completing my KRA. Let's suppose I am working on 50 deals and I need to take an update on the progress. So if the system is reminding me of on the progress that this task was 50% complete, then again that's a nudge that is being given to a sales user. And a very good example of a nudge is, because I believe you might be facing this in your company. I personally face it every day. I forget to check in and check out. If I have a reminder on my mobile application that you have to check in, you have to check out, it makes my life easy. And it has actually made my life easy. There are no deductions in my salary. So these are just some generic examples of how these nudges can be done. Similarly, I would say for a manager, managers KRAs are different. So let's suppose if a prospect is there, a new lead has been generated, and the salesperson has not worked up on that lead for, let's say, 3 hours. Turnaround time is decreasing, then increasing, I would say. So in that particular case, if you want a nudge to be sent out to the manager saying that this person has not worked up on the lead, this is a kind of a nudge that anybody can create. progress update. Again, for a manager, there are different KRAs based on the progress. What is the kind of target they have achieved till date? There are some certain things that can be done. I would say target versus achievement on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. If you want to get a reminder saying that this person had this certain target and he has achieved this bit of it, it's a memory in the manager's mind that, oh, this thing needs to be done. So that's what a generic task or a nudge is all about. Then again, for a nudge to check reports, that is also something. Let's say he has to check a certain report at a certain time. uh, the reminder would be there and the manager would be able to see it. So since in LeadSquared we take these nudges very seriously, so we have different platforms, different ways of sending these nudges to the customers. Now, let's suppose I have a mobile application for the LeadSquared CRM in it. Now, what I want to do is I just want to get a push notification on my mobile app saying that this task needs to be done. This is an update. This is opportunity. Anything of that sort. So, the LeadSquared mobile application has a very robust push notification feature. You can configure it based on your requirements, and the solution would be able to deliver these notifications. Similarly, in certain cases, clients want a email to be sent. Let's suppose there is a new lead that has been come in, and now you what you want to do is you want to send a push notification. You want to get an email that this is a new lead that has been created. Or let's suppose you want to create an email notification with you, the new rep, and the manager. So those kind of a nudges are something which can be done at Lead Squad. Then, working on a CRM, being a CRM company, we understood that when the agents are getting these nudges, they need these nudges on a device, on the web version of their desktop as well. So for that, we've created a product called Carter. Any notifications, just like you get those notifications on a mobile device, while working on the CRM, what can be done over here is, while working on the CRM, there is a notification that is being sent out to the notification in the Carter section. Now, I'll just drop in the chat section once. Give me 1 second. Again, no more questions, guys. I appreciate it if you ask some more questions about any questions that are coming across your mind. Please do ask them. That will definitely help us drive this conversation in a very engaging way. So, now, this is a question that, since many of you might be business owners, many of you might be managers, sales users, there are multiple questions coming in your mind that what kind of nudges would be applicable to your business, right? So let's take an example of a B2C or B2B telesales team. Now, if I am dealing in a B2C industry, now I need a nudge as soon as I get a lead, so that I could this could would lead to a better turnaround time on the leads. I am contacting them very frequently. As soon as somebody signs up, I pick up the phone, I call them, and better closures will happen, because as soon as they register on your platform and you get their lead and instantly you're calling them, it creates a positive impact in the prospect's mind. Similarly, if that's a B2B company, timely follow up. Let's say customer said, talk to me after 15 days. You spoke to him, he said, I need another 15 days. Maintaining this follow up frequency, it is very important, because being into business, you cannot push your users to get some updates, right? If a business wants to purchase at a certain time, business will purchase only at that particular certain time. He will not purchase this at your pace. So we need to understand, from a business or from a business category perspective, there is a frequency of nudges, there is a frequency of follow-ups or reminders that are required to be done, and nudges, they do exactly the same. You'll tell us, you'll configure your account, you'll tell what feature, what follow up you require at what particular time frame. So guys, I would suggest, if you have any business example that you can drop by in the chat, let's suppose a net tech or a healthcare company, if any business case is coming across your mind, you send that across to me. I could immediately pick that up, and I could give you some relevance. What kind of a nudges will your business require? General insurance company. So very good example. So if I say a general insurance company, we have many clients who've been using our service in general insurance sector. There is a frequency that needs to be maintained. So I'll tell you generically what happens is, if an agent is calling them, the prospects on a working day, prospects would say, call me back on Saturday, then only I'll be able to answer. So creating a nudge on a certain time, or let's say there are 10 prospects that you have shortlisted who have said call me up on weekend. If there is a nudge, an email with all those 10 details in it, if that is sent out to the agent at the beginning of Saturday, he knows which accounts, which people he has to target on that specific day. So we can streamline the process, we can streamline the thought process around it. The only thing is, you need to identify when exactly your customers are interacting, when exactly your customers are actually getting back to you, or what is the probable timeline of what customer has said. Nudges could be set up accordingly. Now, nudging leads to increase in productivity, because I'll tell you there are four major reasons. The nudges are personalized. One agent would get nudges related to their particular relevance. So if he's working on X number of leads, he'll get a nudge for all those leads on a specific date, specific time. This definitely boost the sales team performance. So let's suppose, because follow up is a very crucial part in terms of closing the deals. You follow up at the right time, you connect with the customer at the right time, it gives you a very good conversion rate. So either if you're boosting your sales, you're sending personalized nudges, engaging with your sales team. So let's suppose you want to send a nudge to all your users saying that there is a particular meeting at that certain time. Then if you're engaging with your sales team, you're sending regular updates to your team. That is also something which is there in the system, and it could help you close more deals. Eventual goal for everyone is to close more deals, get more revenue for the business, do well, be flourishing in life. So that's what it is all about. It's all about engaging the customers across different touch points, communicating with them, and actually closing more deals. Now I would say, guys, because pre-planning of nudges is also something which is very important, because all of us has targets, all of us has plans that we need to implement the solution to. So let's suppose on a daily basis there are certain communications that are required to be sent. Let's say at a morning 9 a.m. there should be a reminder of them logging in into the system. Late morning there is a meeting that needs to happen. There is that noon, let's say 1 p.m., there is another reminder to regularize their attendance. Let's say in the afternoon there is a different nudge that you're sending out to those people. So basically, nudging can be planned on a year across. So it could be on a daily basis, it could be on a weekly basis. Let's say at the end of the week they have to review they have to vet their pipeline to get it reviewed by the manager. For the manager, there is a nudge that he has to weekly identify the prospects that are probable to close, so that he could work up on those prospects next week. Bi-weekly cycle to, let's suppose, to churn the data if there are any leads that have not been contacted on that sort. Or let's say on a monthly basis, target versus achievement. There is a nudge every Monday. Manager gets every let's suppose every first of every month, manager gets a notification that this is the performance for your team at for the last month. So this is again a kind of nudge that we are configuring. So there are multiple things around those lines that can be sent. Quarterly targets, quarterly revenues, then again quarterly nudges can be set up in the system. There could be a yearly cycle. Year on year people are working, you want to see year on year growth, what is the kind of year on year targets that they have achieved, anything of that sort. So the agenda for showing you these cycles was that these nudges can be implemented on a micro level to a broader level, wherein either if you want to do some plannings on a daily basis, or if you want to do a planning on a yearly basis, these nudges can be created, customized, and you'll be able to send it. And these so just to understand, we're not talking from just the products perspective, we are talking from a generic perspective. Let's suppose you want to create a yearly plan. then you'll have an idea that daily these are the nudges, these are the KRAs that the users have to complete. On a monthly basis, these are the KRAs. On a quarterly basis, let's suppose there are different KRAs, there are different analytics parameters, and on a yearly basis, there is a different observation parameters. So this is all about orchestrating an infrastructure, orchestrating certain touch points with your employees, with your managers, with your teams, to actually drive some better business out of this. So that's the whole and soul agenda for this. So I'll just jump into the chat. So I have a lot of questions from the people in the chat box. So EdTech, Aditya has asked a question: how do we implement these nudges on EdTech? It's a very simple process. Every time a lead is at LeadSquared, we are I would say we have a lot of clients in EdTech, being giants, small EdTechs, large EdTechs. So I would say in EdTech there are major two three pointers that I can highlight you upfront. For future, for further information, maybe what we can do is we can connect for a demo session and we could actually discuss in depth about the kind of nudges that could be sent. So for EdTech, as soon as a lead is generated, a nudge to the user. If the lead is not contacted in 1 hour, a nudge to the manager. If the lead has been created, if there is an activity, let's suppose demo class that has to be done, before that demo class, a reminder to the salesperson. After that demo class, a reminder to the salesperson that this person has attended a webinar. Now it's your time to connect with that particular customer. Similarly, if I talk about finance education company, then finance education is again, it's kind of fits in into the edtech bucket. um, Real estate, I would say, real estate, as soon as a person is going for a field meeting. So real estate, it starts from when the lead is originated. So as soon as the lead is originated, you're I would say you're calling up that lead. There is a nudge to the user. Now after the person is going on the field, he's coming back, there is a nudge that meeting is complete. When is the next visit scheduled, or was it productive or not, so that the agent has to fill up a task from the field itself. Then let's suppose, after, let's say he has set up a reminder that I'll call this lead after 15 days. Customer said, I need to connect with my family and then I'll get some better insights in it. So again, they could set up a reminder for themselves, call up in 15 days. After 15 days, he called up the customer said, call me back in, let's suppose, another 10 days. So then another nudge has been set up for another 10 days after. So that's how the things work in this. Again, auto industry, I would say, depends upon case to case. If it's a buying and selling use case, then the frequency remains the same. If somebody is coming in into your showroom to get actually let's say for a test drive, before the test drive, 15 minutes before the test drive, if the sales agent gets a notification, he can call up a customer and confirm the timings. And it creates a good presence. So before even customers stepping into their showroom, they have a connect with that particular customer, that, sir, I am here for you, please come, I'll receive you. So it creates a kind of premiumness in particular customers bucket. Now I have a very interesting question. Thanks, Yunus, for bringing this up. Can this work in non-sales departments? Can an executive use to track KPIs on a granular level and generate reports? So definitely, we'll have to jump in into the cases, what kind of a reports you're looking at, what are the KPIs that we are targeting. But yes, on a granular level, if there are tasks that are required for this user to be done, let's say there are 5 different KRAs, he has set up tasks for each and every KRA for himself. If he has not completed that KRA, uh, automatic nudging is done to that particular user. Once he sees that nudge, he taps on it, he does that work. And in the reporting section, you can fetch out a report saying that what is the turnaround time, or what is the, let's suppose, from demo to closure. If you want to see a report wherein you're saying how much demos have a particular person done and how many closures have this particular person done, I would say that is something which is there in the solution. So I believe, that answers your question. For more details, because I would also like to hear more from you about the use case that you're looking at, I would definitely recommend you to sign up for a demo request, and definitely will connect on it. Now Neha has another question. What's the difference between Calendly and nudging? Calendly is a calendar application to schedule visits by your customers. They're directly coming up on your website, your Calendly landing page. They're booking a slot for themselves. So this is Calendly is basically doing capture of the leads. So from the first impact, wherein the customer has booked the calendar, he has just blocked a time frame on your calendar. Wherein, when I'm talking about nudging, as soon as somebody books a calendar, you want two nudges to be sent out to you. First is when the calendar invite has been sent. Second is 15 minutes prior to that particular calendar. Now, Calendly notifications, they'll stop as soon as your meeting is done. Maybe uh, I would say they'll send after Calendly the meeting has been done, they'll send an email or thank you email or something. But what after that? Let's say you had a very productive discussion with client said call me back on after 10 days. Then I'll connect you with my VP who'll connect who'll try to take the solution. So I would say yes, that is something which is doable in the platform. So I believe that answers your question, Neha. Again, I would recommend you getting on a call, and will definitely help you understanding the difference between two, since we have limited bandwidth over here. Then I believe most of the questions that were there in the chat window I have answered. If any of your questions have been left, feel free to ping me over here, and I'll take them up towards the end of the discussion. So though it's a vast topic, but there is nothing much to talk about in this. I would say how to configure the goal based nudges. So again, in LeadSquared there is a goals that have been set up. Now if you want to send goal based notifications, let's suppose if a user was supposed to complete 5 demos in a week, if he's not done that at the end of the week, you want to send him a reminder. Will send a reminder saying that this was your goal, this is what you have achieved. So that is also something which is doable in the platform. I would say I was looking forward to a more interactive session wherein I could take up the questions. So this is all from my side in terms of what exactly I hope I helped you all to understand what nudging is all about. But I am definitely looking forward to some more questions, how exactly we can take it further.
Yeah, thank you so much, Vishal. We actually have another question by Gaurav.
Mm-hmm.
It is on the question tab. I'll just put it up on the screen as well. So they ask, how can we use sales nudgers to better engage customers and increase revenue in our database support services?
Mm-hmm.
It is one of the complex IT services to promote. How can we engage decision makers? Our company is Mayfree, which offers an open source database support service and remote DBA services. The
So, Gaurav, just to answer your questions, I believe you must be having a portal of yours wherein the customers actually sign up, right? If you're indulging in nudges, let's say every time you update your database, you send them a nudge that we have updated your database. That is again a kind of engagement that you're doing with your customers. Similarly, let's say every regular update, if I talk about LeadSquared context, in LeadSquared, what happens is there is a small notification window. Every time we release a feature, we put it over there. Any of our clients, they can see. So it creates a kind of engaging behavior, and our clients have a behavior of every day when they log in into their account, they go through that just to see what is new in the company, what is the new in the product. So on a similar note, you can do this. You can engage with your customers whenever there is a product update, whenever there is a communication update, and definitely this would impact your impact everything in your business. On top of this, there is one standpoint wherein you are nudging your users directly from your platform. Then on the second front, when your agents are actually pitching out to multiple decision makers, I'll tell you similar scenario. So in LeadSquared, what we have is we have a feature called account management, wherein we are tapping multiple sales POs, multiple POCs, multiple decision makers under a single account. So there can be a use case wherein, let's suppose you tapped Kartika from LeadSquared, you was reaching out to Kartika for taking your service. But on the other hand, the CEO of the company, he signed up on your website. Now what you'll do is the system will tag that particular lead under Kartika's account, or let's say LeadSquared's account. So you'll have a visibility, you'll get a nudge that this person has signed up. Now, once you go inside the deal, you'll see I have already spoken to Kartika. She has told me. Now, once you're talking to the CEO, you'll tell him I have spoken to Kartika. She told me at that point this requirement was not there, but now we can definitely take it up. So this creates some intelligence around your sales pitch. So nudging is all about getting the reminder of information you already know. So if somebody again is signing up, then that's definitely something which will help you.
All
Perfect,
right.
guys.
Yeah, I hope that answers the question, Gaurav. Actually, Vishal, good news for you as well, because Neha here has asked for a demo for nudges. We would love to, take on that offer actually. So I have put up a poll on a similar note if you would like to try out or to see how LeadSquared nudges can help you and your organization. So if anyone wants to have a demo, then please do respond to that poll. If you don't want to also, you can definitely respond to the poll as well. So if there are any more questions, then please do keep it coming. Yes, we have another question from Eunice. They've asked, what are the costs and the number of users who can access it? Okay.
So, Eunice, that depends upon case to case. If you're looking at very bare minimum, there is a light plan that we have. If you're looking at advanced automation, there is a super plan that we have. So we can definitely let's get on a one-on-one call and we'll close it. So basically it's per user per month. Let's connect over a demo session and definitely will help you up with that.
All right. Kiran has asked for a demo as well. Kiran, like I had mentioned, please to respond to the poll. It's just for us to see who is really interested and who's not. And of course, if you've responded yes, then definitely we'd be reaching out to you as soon as possible as well. And I
Mm-hmm.
see a couple of comments about whether the recording is available. So after this webinar gets over, I will be sending out the webinar recording and also the deck that Vishal has shared today to all the registrations that we've gotten. And yeah, I don't see any more questions coming in. But
Right. I
yeah,
see only demo requests. That's
yes,
good.
which is a great sign, in fact. Yes, of course. So, like I said before, I've also put Vishal's LinkedIn profile on the chat. I hope that's fine, Vishal. So, if you'd like to connect with him or if you'd like to connect with me, please do feel free to do so. And yeah, Vishal, if you'd like to add something else, feel free.
Guys, I would say this is a small piece of the product that we are offering. We try to enlighten you guys with different features, different opportunities that are there. So I believe every 2 weeks we come up with a webinar. Do join on a regular intervals. You'll keep on gaining information, and I believe definitely down the line, or maybe if you have the requirements currently, we can definitely get in touch. We could understand your business, and over here we do not, I would say, we first understand your business, understand where we fit, and that's when we actually give you the solution.
Of course.
So I would say more of a consultative selling we do. So I would definitely love to connect with you guys and get things rolling.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much, Vishal. I would say that I definitely realized a little more about nudges today. I was actually not very aware of nudges, not just the tool, I mean, but nudges
Right.
as an ideology. I was not very, educated on that, but that definitely changed after this session. And I think our audience can agree because I see a lot of demo requests coming in, which is great for our company. And of course, I know that people will get benefited by this. So, Vishal, thank you so much for such a wonderful session. It really helped us, all of us, out. And I hope, just like Vishal said, we will have more sessions here, product sessions. We'll also have thought leadership sessions. And I think we will soon have a session where we actually give the nudges toolkit demo also. So maybe keep an eye out for that. We will soon have that as well. So, with that, I think we have come to the end of the session. Once again, Vishal, thank you so much for joining us. To the audience as well, thank you so much. Have a
Thank you
wonderful
so
day.
much everyone for joining. Thanks Karthika especially for organizing this. Looking forward to do more such sessions, share my learnings, and definitely growing together with the community.
Of course, Vishal, we'd love to have you back. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you so much everyone. Bye for now.